Hello, in this video we are continuing our discussion of our research project, the Argumentative Google Docs essay. Now our first assignment with that particular research project was your annotated bibliography, where you essentially offered me 3 sources that you plan on using for the essay, and you provided their publication information as well as a brief summary, again called an annotation, and you submitted that assignment. Hopefully those 3 sources are going to be helpful in you writing your actual essay. Now, this particular video is going to be discussing the actual essay portion of that assignment. Now, just a reminder, your Argument of Google Docs essay is going to be worth 25% of your grade, just a basic overview of the essay. Lengthwise, it's going to be between 3 to 4 pages, okay? Also, you are going to be required to add 2 more sources to the ones that you found for your annotated bibliography. I do have students sometimes who ask, I found some better sources. Can I replace some of the sources that were on my annotated bibliography with those sources? And the answer is yes. Research is an ongoing process, and if you did find better sources than the ones you originally had on your annotated bibliography, I'm absolutely fine with you replacing those. But just remember, you need to have 5 total sources that you actually quote or paraphrase from in the final draft of your Argumentative Google Docs essay. Now, we're going to talk about the structural options in more detail in a bit, but I want to go to a slideshow and we're going to talk about a little bit more as far as argumentation. Now, just ensure that you remember, as far as the rhetorical strategy of argumentation, it's a reason logical way of you arguing a position or a belief. You're going to take a stand and you're going to support your own opinion with evidence. And that evidence, again, is going to be found in those 5 sources that you have researched and you're going to quote or paraphrase from in your essay. So again, it's a combination of your personal arguments and opinions with, again, those 5 resources, those pieces of evidence. Think of those pieces of evidence as building upon or proving the, kind of ideas and arguments that you have in your own sentences. Now, as far as argumentation, as far as what you're going to be doing in this argumentative essay, there's different ways that you can look at your topic which relates to technology. Maybe you're going to give a solution to a problem. Maybe you're going to argue a certain way of looking or perceiving your topic. Also, you may want to urge your readers to actually go out and do something. And I have an example of kind of a topic of technology which fits each of these types of arguments. You're going to notice these are all thesis statements or major claims that students used in their actual essays. Now, you don't have the whole introduction, but you do have the thesis, the major claims, so you can kind of get some ideas of how you can write your own thesis statements, your major claims for your own essay. So notice this first type of argument where you offer solution to a problem. This particular student decided to write about the topic of technology of Google driverless cars, and this was their thesis statement. To decrease U.S. vehicular death rates, Google's driverless cars should be legalized in all states. Again, they agree with the usage of this technology. Not necessarily everybody does, so that makes it debatable. Now, another topic, again, this is where the student argues a certain way of looking at an issue. Maybe they feel that mainstream media perceives it in a manner that's different from their particular perception of that topic. So this is their topic on genetic engineering. Although many American citizens disagree with genetic engineering of humans, the advancement of the biomedical science can decrease infant mortality as well as prevent disabilities and inherited diseases. So you'll notice this particular student agrees with genetic engineering and offers kind of 2 major reasons that he or she has that stance. You'll notice that the first thesis statement, it basically just discusses one major reason that's going to break that down, decreasing vehicular death rates. So you can have a more generalized thesis statement where you just discuss overall your opinion, whether you agree or disagree with this topic of technology, or you can have a thesis statement that is that standard 3-point or 2-point thesis statement where you actually discuss your reasons for agreeing or disagreeing with your topic. Now, this last thesis statement is where you adopt a plan of action, where you want your reader to actually go out and do something. And this particular student was writing about consumer data collection by websites. And this student wrote, to prevent massive consumer data collection, more restrictions should be placed upon social media and retail websites. Okay, so you'll notice this student again, just has a more generalized thesis statement where they just overview their overall stance. Now, if you have generalized thesis statements where you just overview your opinion as a whole, that does mean later in your topic sentences, or your claim 1 and your claim 2, you're going to have really specific topic sentences or claims to really specify your reasons for having those opinions. If you do a 3-point or a 2-point thesis statement, you are not going to have to be quite as specific because you're going to already have listed those reasons in your thesis. Now, if you have trouble with thesis statements, I did want to show you a resource that you may want to use. Okay, you're going to notice in Module 21, the Argumentative Google Docs essay, The Strategy of Argumentation. Okay, there's several worksheets that may help you later, but if you need help with your thesis, letter E, the Argumentative Essay Thesis Template, you can actually plug in your topic of technology and maybe your 2 reasons of, agreement or disagreement with it, and it will kind of map out your thesis statement for you. It's really cool. Now later, when you have more of an idea of your actual points, your reasons for agreement or disagreement, you may want to use these other worksheets, D and F, to help you as well. Now, you don't have to use these resources. They're just to kind of help you get your thoughts organized, okay? Now, as far as argumentation, just remember you are essentially focusing in on one argument, your support or opposition of your technology. You're going to break down that stance into 2 points or 2 reasons why you agree or disagree with it. Okay, now if you feel like you need more kind of elaboration on argumentation and what it is, I do have resources for y'all. If you look under Module 21 B, this is Al Purdue's whole website on argumentation. Also C, this is a whole little segment of a chapter on it. If you're kind of unsure about how to structure an argumentative essay, maybe you weren't required to write one in Comp 1, you may want to check out these 2 resources. Now, I also do want to emphasize, make sure, and I mentioned this in one of the other videos, to be an ethical arguer, you do have to discuss your stance as well as the oppositional viewpoint, the one that does not agree with you. You have to be balanced in your discussion, okay? Now, again, you're just going to be required to have 2 claims or 2 reasons you support that particular form of technology or you oppose it, but you only have to have 1 oppositional claim where you address the other side's viewpoint, but you're also going to be able to show the flaws in it as well. Okay, so just make sure in your research you do need to find research that has writers who disagree with you. They have a different stance than you, and you're going to discuss those. Okay, so as far as the argumentative essay, please ensure you pick that topic of technology. You clearly have 2 reasons you agree or disagree with it, and also you address the oppositional view, those who disagree with your stance, and find research to support both of those. Okay, in just a moment, we're going to be talking about the actual structure of the argumentative essay.